The fuck did I just watch? Alright, so just to be clear, this movie is all over the place, and this one might take a while. So, let's run through the plot, shall we? Ollie's the son of 2 drug addicts who works his way into Oxford University. It's obvious he doesn't come from money, but a chance encounter makes him good friends with Felix, a person that Ollie admires and potentially loves. It's not that kind of movie though. Also at the university is Felix's less than reputable cousin, Farley, who has some not great encounters with Oliver Quick. The 2 friends bond, and Felix invites Ollie to stay with them and his rich family over the summer so that Ollie doesn't have to go back and deal with his drug addict family. Ollie's birthday approaches, and with that comes a party that the Canton family will be throwing. And that is when the wheels fall off. See, for Ollie's birthday, Felix decides to drive him home so he can visit his family. To Felix's surprise, he finds out Ollie is very much a liar. His mother's not a drug addict, his father is still alive, and he grew up in a relatively comfortable middle-class upbringing. It's through this new lens that we can see Oliver not just as a person who has romantic feelings for Felix, but is obsessed with him and his life. There are various disturbing moments I can pull from him watching Felix with another woman, to manipulating Felix's sister, to manipulating Farley. But I think the scene that made me truly go, what the fuck, was the bathtub scene, because, yeah, it's the bathtub scene. Like, I have a bachelor's degree in English, but all I can muster is this.
The fuck? I just love that. It's like, why?
And that should be enough. Anyways, the deal is clear. Felix won't rat out Ollie, but he must leave after his party. Oliver makes one last plea to Felix in the maze, but it falls on deaf ears as Felix implores Ollie to get help. To no one's shock or dismay, Felix is found dead the next day. It's at this point that the family oddly tries to stay normal. While I understand that everyone grieves differently, Elspeth, Felix's mother, insists that they have lunch and maintain a sense of normalcy, which I can understand, but her son also has been dead for like 8 hours. Maybe grieve a little. Just, throwing that out there. Ollie is smart. He gives Elspeth what she wants, normalcy, as he talks about his party and the chocolate cake. It's also at this moment that I should mention how Ollie manipulates it so that Farley is kicked out of the house, and how he manipulates Vanita, Felix's sister, into unaliving herself? Apologies. James, Felix's father, grows weary of his wife's dependence on Oliver and bribes him to leave. Fast forward to 2022, which, by the way, the first half takes place in 2006. Don't know if I mentioned that. Anyway, fast forward to 2022, and Oliver has a chance meetup with Elspeth at her favorite restaurant. Fancy that. And it just so happens to be after James dies. Elspeth and Oliver spend several months together that culminate in her death at the hands of Ollie after a prolonged sickness. A sickness, then willing to bet, Ollie orchestrated. This is where the twist/not twist happens that elevates Ollie from a psychopath to just a cold-blooded murderer. Ollie planned everything from the beginning. It didn't start with the murder of Felix, but much further than that. Ollie gave Felix a flat tire. Ollie played poor so that Felix could save him. Ollie planted evidence so Farley could get kicked out. Ollie spiked the drink that killed Felix. Ollie even left razors for Vanetta to use. Ollie patiently waited for James to die, and again, planned Elspeth. It was all, well, to quote it best,
because it's all part of the plan.
And the movie ends with Ollie dancing naked in his new old money mansion, having taken control of the Canton family fortune. This film was initially seen as a movie about eating the rich, but director Emerald Fennell, herself a person who grew up rich as hell, never really allows there to be a moment where Ollie sticks it to Elspeth for being a bad person, or at the very least, a self-absorbed centered one. You think Ollie's this poor kid fighting back to take wealth, but in reality, he's just crazy. There's a lot of build-up, but it doesn't really go anywhere. Elspeth dies with Ollie making a point of how disconnected the rich are from the rest of us. Ollie is no hero, but I'm not sure I'd call the Canton family victims. This film is, for lack of a better word, a mindfuck. It's not bad, I just feel like it happens and that's all. It's certainly better than most films I've seen in the past couple years, and I don't know if it has to do with Ollie not necessarily being someone that we can cheer for. Which also, shout out to Barry Keoghan, great performance, the dude has a bright future and is only running forward. But this movie is just, I don't know, there's something off about it. Almost as off as, well, this. I'm sorry I showed it. And if you don't know what that signifies, be happy that you don't. This one was going to be a B for me, but what did y'all think? Go on and comment down below. We'd greatly appreciate it, and we'll catch y'all next time. We'll see everybody.
I love you. All right, cheers, Ollie.